birthday present there for Dennis Lillee, given by some young admirer down on the fence. And Bob Taylor is off the mark. Field will stay in for Botham now. Gives him the chance to hit away on the offside if he wants to. Lilly's at mid-on, saving the single. Hughes at cover, Chappell at cover point. That's exactly what he wants to do. Number 44 for 6, and Botham has streaked away to 46.
Well, the ball was straight. That was a good idea to stop him scoring, but it was just over-pitched. And it's a lovely straight drive.
Chase there for Trevor Chappell. That outfield's very fast. Good shot from Bob Taylor from that loosener from Lillee. And he's gone. Rodney Marsh, that was a good catch. He made a lot of ground to that, and I just got a feeling he sensed Kim Hughes wasn't going anywhere near it. And Rodney Marsh took it beautifully away on his right-hand side. Taylor is gone for 5. 148 for 7 now. There's the old combination again there. Lillee to Marsh. 25% of Marsh's victims have come from Lillee's bowling. Lillee was up there to congratulate him, because now Rodney Marsh has equalled Alan Knott's record of 263 dismissals in Test cricket. Marsh 71 Test matches, Knott 93.
Free in Botham. A really fine innings in the circumstances by any standards, but a wonderful sight to see him hitting the ball with the same old freedom, and it really looks as though the shackles have dropped from his shoulders since the burden of captaincy has been lifted from him, and that is, I think I'm right in saying, his first 50 since his first inning captain at Trent Bridge last year. Botham perhaps losing a bit of concentration. .36 now needed to avoid the follow-on. And he's gone. Very fine delivery indeed. Botham in that over just losing concentration, and Rodney Marsh appropriately breaks the world wicket-keeping Test record off the bowling of Dennis Lillee, who must surely have given him more victims than any other bowler. And out, caught second slip. Thank you very much. Alan Border clinging on. Chris Old not quite in behind it. The ball just lifting and leaving him a fraction, and Alan Border making no mistake, so it looks as though Australia are going to make England follow on. And that'll be 4 off the amount they need. Unorthodox but highly effective. Graham Dilley, who's caused Australia quite a few problems with the willow already in this series. was as if he was doing it in catching practice. And Lillee takes his 4th wicket on his 32nd birthday, so he's another Australian hero, and England have subsided somewhat limply and are almost certain to be asked to follow on. And this a rather strange final dismissal. Dilley perhaps changing his mind in the middle of his shot.
That's a dismal sight for England supporters. Just the one saving grace there, that splendid innings from Ian Botham, where he made 50 in 50 deliveries before he fell to the combination of Marsh and Lillee, the one that served Australia so well over the years. And what a great moment for Rodney Marsh there. He and Lillee have been two great cricketers for Australia, fitting that between them they should give Marsh the record of 264 victims to go past Alan Knott. The other England batsmen, the only two to impress at all, were Gower and Gatting, and the rest were very much under the thumb of the Australian bowlers. Only 3 of them used, just another indication that you only need 3 quicks, you don't need 4 in a side. Dennis Lillee, 4 for 49, had the best figures in the end, but it wasn't one of Dennis's best days. He was a bit front on in action, and his line and length weren't all that he'd desire. Terry Alderman, 3 for 59, a little bit of rough treatment at Botham's hands, and Lawson, I thought, was the outstanding bowler, 3 for 32 in 13 overs and 3 maidens. So despite Botham's splendid innings, England failed to save the follow-on by just 28 runs, and quite rightly Kim Hughes asked them to go in again. We pick up the action now in the first over. It's the first ball. Dennis Lillee is the bowler, Graham Gooch has taken strike. Here's Tom Graveney and Chris Martin-Jenkins.
Lillee, who took 4 wickets in the first innings, didn't bowl terribly well in his opening spell, but he now has 266 Test wickets, and that equals Bishan Bedi's haul of Test wickets. He's only the 4th highest wicket taker in Test now, those two together, and only Gibbs, Truman and Underwood are ahead of Ian Beattie. So one way and another, it's a day of records. Rodney Marsh having taken his 264th victim in Tests to become the highest wicket-keeping collector ever. And that's a catch, and a beautifully taken catch by Terry Alderman, diving to his left, and Graham Gooch is out for naught for the 2nd time today, having made only 2 this morning, and Australia have struck in their first innings, and England really are in great disarray here. Lillee finding the edge of Gooch's bat, and Alderman taking an absolute perler of a slip catch, much the best slip catch that has been taken in this game so far.
Just the 1 wicket down there, Graham Gooch, and no wonder he looked disconsolate coming off the field, being very well caught there by Alderman off Lillee's bowling without scoring, and Alderman got him in the first innings, so the young West Australian has had a pretty good match as far as Gooch is concerned. Boycott still not off the mark, and Brearley 4, 6 for 1, and when the players came off for bad light, they were off for 45 minutes up to the scheduled time when the last hour could commence. That was at 6 o'clock. And the umpires came out into the centre with their light meters. The sun was filtering through, which we knew because we could see the shadows being cast by the policemen who were out guarding the pitch and everything. And the umpires then decided, sometime between 5 to 6 and 6 o'clock, that play could not restart and the extra hour would not come into play. Now, there's quite a bit of commotion around the ground, some very disgruntled spectators. There are a few cushions being thrown on the ground, something that I find most irritating. And I dare say some of the spectators found the fact that there's to be no more play equally as irritating today. But a little later on, one of the umpires, Barry Mayer, came out onto the players' balcony just outside the umpires' room and talked with some of the spectators. I don't think he got a very fair hearing because by that time they were very much fed up.
At 3 minutes to 6, you signal them to put the covers on. At 1 minute to 6, it was like that. Play could have been in progress at 6 o'clock under your rules. Why wasn't it? You'd call play off before 6 o'clock. Now, Don't tell me that somebody
I'm writing
not
to
been
Lords,
you,
mate.
It been the other umpire.
I'm writing there, mate, complaining.
Mr. Lister.
It wasn't 6 o'clock when the announcement came out. You give up. You get him out now.
I've watched Test cricket.
Well, I tell you one thing, the
Hey, come back.
suffer in the end. And it serves them right.
Yeah, you won't see me here again.
Well, perhaps not, but I've no doubt there'll be a lot of other spectators at Test match. He's a brave umpire who will confront a group of spectators from the outer at sometime after 6 o'clock in the evening. Let me just tell you what I think about the whole affair. I think there's been a misinterpretation of the law. There was one at Lords, and there was an apology issued later on. I think, again, there's a misunderstanding of the wording of this law. As far as I'm concerned, the wording says that providing conditions are fit for play at 6 o'clock, as was the time tonight, providing conditions are fit for play. It doesn't say that play has to be in progress. It doesn't matter how long it might have taken the players or the umpires to get on. That's my reading of it. Providing conditions are fit for play. And whether or not they were fit for play at 6 o'clock is another matter. But I think the interpretation is where the problem arose here today. So Australia, a stranglehold on this Test match. They've done wonderfully well. Their bowlers, their catchers, well, they put 2 down today, but it didn't matter very much. They weren't vital chances that went down, but their bowlers have performed superbly. Lilly, Alderman and Lawson, full marks to young Lawson, and full marks to Dennis Lilly and Rodney Marsh. What a way for Rodney Marsh to become the greatest wicket-keeping wicket-taker in Test match history.
And he's gone. Very fine delivery indeed. Both of them in that over, just losing concentration, and Rodney Marsh appropriately breaks the world wicket-keeping Test record off the bowling of Dennis Lilly, who must surely have given him more victims than any other bowler.